I can't imagine what kind of professional cinematographer would do something like that. Hello again, my nomies, and welcome back to the MT and me. Well, you probably remember last time we were here, I was pretty stressed out because it had kept on raining and I couldn't get the top of Pearl dry to put this wonderful new tarp on top of her. Well, finally got a dry roof, finally got the tarp in place, and since I got it up there, it hasn't rained a drop. This is my life. But anyway, it's kind of cloudy today. There's a little rumble of thunder. They're saying it might rain a little bit. Frankly, I don't care anymore. It can rain, it cannot rain. My tarp is up there. One thing I did tell you, though, is that we just had to kind of temporarily tie it in place. Well, we haven't had any appreciable wind either, so the tarp hasn't had any problems at all staying where it's supposed to stay. However, I now have rocket straps. Yay! Sounds pretty impressive. We'll find out if they're as impressive as they sound. Rocket straps are just plain old elastic straps. And we're going to tether this tarp in place. First order of business today here on the MT and me. I honestly don't remember how long these are. They may be 40 inches. They may be 48 inches. Either one should do the trick. I was kind of impressed by them, though. If I can get them untangled, I will show you why. These have a okay, I was worried there for a second. These have a double hook on the end, as you can see. So I figure they'll stay pretty good. I would guess that they're about 1 meter long, so they're probably 40 inches, which should be just about right to stretch from my tarp down to some place to hook it and give us a nice taut connection. Let's find out. Seems to work pretty good on the back corner. Let's see what the rest of them do. Well, I think that's got one side. Let's go do the other. right. Didn't plan on knocking the sign down, but hey, since I did, subscribe if you haven't already, right here to the MT and Me on YouTube. That's got all of our straps in place. I ordered a dozen of them, so I used the full dozen. We'll see if it holds the tarp like I think it's going to. And that means let it rain, let the wind blow, let the snow come, let the blizzards hit. Just don't let it be hot anymore for a while, okay? Please, please. Now, let me show you what else I finally got delivered. Mechanics wire and a full set of connectors for this mechanics wire so that we can secure it. This, of course, is what we're going to try and use to reinforce Pearl's roof from the inside. Now, with these connectors, I can wrap it and secure it. The thing I'm worried about is how I'm going to tension it. I may still have to buy some turnbuckles so that I can tighten it up. That's a possibility. Don't have those yet. We will simply have to get in there and do a little experimenting. We're not going to do that today. That's for tomorrow. See you then. All right, next day, and we're back in Pearl with our mechanics wire to see what we can do. Now, I don't really have a goal of accomplishing much today, except maybe figuring a few things out, like a plan of how I'm going to attach this stuff on each end, how we're going to be able to tension it to make it tight against Pearl's roof, and just whether or not in general this stands a chance of accomplishing anything. You may remember, since I've talked about it before, that the plan here is to use this to run strips of wire back and forth from front to back along Pearl's ceiling, or roof. Actually, we don't have a ceiling, we've got a roof in here. Because what we're looking at here on the inside is the bottom side of the aluminum roof that's on the outside. There's nothing at all in between right now. That aluminum is very thin, and with 16-inch squares and actually 16 by 24 squares up and down the middle, there's a lot of room for play in that roof. You don't want to be walking across this thing for fear that you just might put your foot through it. I don't know if that would happen or not, but I don't want it to happen. So we're going to see if we can do some reinforcement by using tight mechanics wire. Now this is 14 gauge wire, so it's fairly heavy wire. I'm just going to have to see if I can even work with it in order to make these runs. So let's see what we can find out. First of all, I measured Pearl's roof from back to front. From metal brace to metal brace, it's 12 feet, 3.5 inches. Now, I don't remember exactly how much wire is on this roll. And it really doesn't say. It's 14 gauge. It's 3 pounds of wire. I'm going to have to look it up to be sure, but I want to say it's maybe 250 feet. So, hey, if we do the math, that should give me enough for maybe 20 runs back and forth. Let's say 15 just to be safe. Have a little wire left over. Like I said, this is heavy wire, but it is flexible. So the next thing I have to figure out is how we're going to attach this to this. This beam and all of the support beams on the roof is 1/2 inch hollow steel. Now you can see this bolt here. This is where it's actually mounted to another 1/2 inch beam that's the fiberglass overcab is a part of. This is where it's actually attached, and there are 7 of these along the entire border, connecting it and holding it all together. But these beams are then run from here all the way to the back of Pearl, plus the cross beams. They're all welded together, and these are the ones that we're going to try to attach to and run all the way to the back. Now, here's the thing. Attaching wire to this, that's what I'm trying to figure out the best way to do. Do we want to try and drill through this? We can do that and put a bolt in. From the other side here, we'd be drilling through both of them and put a bolt in, just like the bolts that are holding the fiberglass overcab on. And that way we could do that and put an eyelet here, and that would make it a simple matter to loop the wire through it and secure it with some sort of fastener or a turnbuckle, and give us an attachment and possibly a weighted tension at the same time. So that's one possibility here on the front. We can't simply go around the bars like we can, say, here or here. We can simply go under them because there's room to push the ceiling up and go between the roof and the bar. We can't do that on the front because the bars are fastened together and there's no room at all. And I got a feeling that when we go look at the back, it's going to be the same way. And sure enough, it is. There's absolutely no room to go around this fitting. Plus, it's all sealed up where the roof actually meets the top of this and wraps around. Now, we don't have the option of drilling through this and putting a bolt in from the other side, because if I drill through, it's going to go all the way through to the outside, and I don't want a whole row of bolts across the top of Pearl's rear end here. So we'll have to come up with some other means of fastening to get into these 1/2 inch beams and attach our wire. It's just never easy, is it? There's always something to complicate things. But that's where we stand right now. So please give me some ideas on attaching on each end. Leave your comments below on this video so that I'll have an idea. I've got a few ideas. I've expressed a couple of them to you here. I don't especially like any of them that I have. I can see pros and cons. So maybe you have the perfect solution. Maybe it's not the perfect solution, but if it is a solution, please let me know about it so that we can consider it, okay? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about how the best way to attach and tension these wires is going to be. I really do need your help, so please comment, okay? In the meantime, I think I'm going to pull a piece of wire, not attaching it on either end, obviously, but at least pull the wire and see how it's going to look, how it's going to behave strung along between these beams above me and the roof. Okay, boys and girls, allow me to give you a basic lesson in the operation of video cameras. This little button right here on the back, it's got a red dot on it. That's the record button. When you get ready, You set up your shot, you push that button, and the camera starts recording. When you're finished, you push the button again, and it stops recording. Simple enough, right? Yes, of course it is. Now, sometimes, because of the nature of the button, or just because you're in a hurry or getting careless or something, your finger might slip when you punch that button, and you might double punch it without realizing it, you know? So sometimes if you do that, then the camera starts recording and then it immediately stops recording. And this is important because if you don't notice it happening, then you go right on about your business, doing your work, thinking the camera is catching everything, and then you go back and you discover that you got nothing. All right? Now, this being just like Hollywood, when you're making a movie, if you end up with nothing, you got two choices. You can go back and do the shot over, which means you got to be sure your camera's recording, and you got to do all that work over once again. All right, that's one option. The other option is you just figure out a workaround, okay? And that's exactly what this is right here as you're watching me. We're working around the problem because I ain't doing the work again. Somebody double pushed the button and it didn't record a bunch of stuff that we did. I can't imagine what kind of professional cinematographer would do something like that. But stuff happens, as they say. It did. So, this is our workaround. This camera had better be recording right now because I ain't doing this over again either. Let me show you where we are, okay? I have started putting this wire in place. Now, it's still attached to the spool back down over here. But, and of course, we're not attached to the main bulkhead here. We've already talked about that. But we started going under the roof and over the framework, all right? Just a little bit so that we can kind of see how this is going to function. So, so far, as I hope you can see, it's doing pretty good. We have made it this far, a little past halfway. I think I've got enough wire pulled out here to finish the job. Let me show you a little bit about what you missed. And that gets us to the end, which is as far as we can go. I have no idea in the long run how things are going to work out with it. But for now, at least we have wire running from front to back. And we know that, in principle at least, we can put it in place. Maybe it's going to work. It's a little too early to tell at this point. Now, whenever we get the wiring done or whatever we're going to do to support the roof, then we can go back to making these beams to go across. These 2x4s can be fitted precisely to go along these beams and to fit down on each side and give the added support that each one of these is going to need to help hold up that newly reinforced roof. But we can't do the beams until the wire's in place. We can't put the wire in place until we figure out how we're going to fasten them and how we're going to tension them. We can't figure out how we're going to fasten them and tension them without your help. You have your job. Let me hear from you, okay? I don't really have words to express how much I appreciate each and every one of you. This is video 145. done 145 of these things in over a 2-year period, more than 2 years. When this started out, I never dreamed that I'd be working on video number 145. All right. There are plenty more to come if your support just stays with me. Please keep watching. Subscribe if you have not already. Give me a thumbs up because those likes really count. YouTube notices those, and when they see a like, they think, people like that. Maybe we should recommend it to other people, and that will help this channel grow and help spread the word, the information about Pearl and the MT. That's what I want, and I hope that's what you want. So please, thumbs up. All right? Give us some support. You can buy me a coffee. There's a link below to do that if you feel so moved. You can also check out themtandme.com. All kinds of wonderful information about the Mobile Traveler Corporation, the brilliant people that built this wonderful recreational vehicle so many years ago. And she's still holding together in pretty good shape, all things considered. So there's all that below, plus the address of our Facebook page. Please, follow that as well to keep up with more information about the MT and me. And of course, be right here every week for another episode to see what's going to go wrong. Oh well. Hopefully it's entertaining anyway. And on that note, I'm going to get my happy little butt out of here for the day and the week. Thank you again, my nomies. I love you. I'm Russ. You take care, and we will talk later.